Everyone who works or plays on water knows that the world's oceans, lakes and rivers can turn hostile in a hurry. Hurricanes, floods, storm surges and rogue waves challenge our courage. The world of the rescue professional embraces Mother Nature's foulest moods. They accept the deadly risks of a life at the edge of death. Their newest tools include patrol aircraft to get to ships in trouble and airdrop survival gear. Super buoyant surface vessels to wrestle the wild surf. And helicopters tough enough to tackle a tempest. The worse the weather gets, the more likely they'll be needed.
If you get knocked in the water, the very first thing that's going to happen is you're going to experience some degree of cold shock, which can last up to a couple of minutes. And during those moments, you're pretty much incapable of doing anything. You're just trying to get control of your breathing.
They don't wear oilcloth slickers anymore at Cape Disappointment. These state-of-the-art survival suits can keep a person warm, dry and alive for 12 hours in seawater that's just 10 degrees above freezing. In the open ocean, even a high-tech survival suit may not be enough, because motor lifeboats can't travel much more than 300 kilometers from home base. When disaster strikes further offshore, a victim can quickly find themselves out of range and out of time. Speed and skill are the heart and soul of today's life-saving marine machines and the crews who operate them. Unsinkable, wave-busting rescue boats cut critical response times with lives on the line. But thousands of men and women live and work on isolated oil and gas drilling rigs, far out on the continental shelf, hundreds of kilometers from shore-based salvation. When disaster strikes in mid-ocean, survival depends on equipment, training and coolness in a crisis.
Many of our professionals that work on and about the water get very specialized training to teach them and to allow them to practice their procedures, so it's entrenched in them of what to do. And that's been proven to increase likelihood of surviving a catastrophe or an emergency.
When your workplace sits on top of a billion-barrel reservoir of crude oil, a sudden spark can quickly turn to terror. "20 years after 84 men perished helplessly aboard the Ocean Ranger, these oil workers are being put through a battery of training tasks. Dave Camo of Survival Systems is their drill master.
What we're really trying to do is give them a toolbox of skills that they can apply to whatever situation they're going to be in. We don't know whether boats are going to catch on fire, whether they're going to down flood, whether the guys will have to hit the ocean in the wintertime or the summertime, what the sea state will be. But by giving them a series of tools, we're able to allow them to adapt their survival plan to whatever situation they're into.
When an oil rig cries Mayday, workers have to be ready to ditch, even if that means jumping for their lives.
Come to the edge of the platform, you check that you're clear below, so stay focused on the horizon. Yep. Take a single step off and cross your legs.
The next test, inflate a life raft in a swimming pool that is a lot calmer than the North Atlantic at midnight in midwinter.
You're not out of the woods yet, but you're in a pretty stable position. There's no immediate threats. You'll probably be seasick. You should almost count on that.
You know, seasickness is a real challenge and possibly a real killer. It not only does it make you many people totally incapacitated, and they lose their will to live. They are so sick they don't care anymore, and obviously somebody who doesn't care about their well-being isn't going to do well in a survival situation.
Then the ultimate spin cycle, a simulated helicopter crash. If their chopper goes down on the way to work, their top-heavy engines can flip them headfirst in a heartbeat. Controlling panic and disorientation may be the grim margin of survival.
What we're trying to do is give these guys confidence, give them empowerment, and give them a sense that, hey, I can survive this if I had to.
When the platform is too high to survive a plunge to the waterline, vertical escape chutes are deployed. The Skyscape is a chute of zigzag slides, allowing workers to safely abandon ship.
If this was a real situation offshore and the flames were coming at you, you'd be going as soon as he cleared the first opening there.
So I just go and I'm just...
Yep, you're just going to keep your arms in tight, keep your feet together, turn your body side to side, work your way down through. Okay, you can go ahead now.
What we want to do for people is give them some type of plan. You've got to accept the situation, but then at some point you've got to start to act, and you've got to start to say, okay, this is what I need to do, I know what to do, and I'm going to carry out those actions, whether it's getting into the lifeboat, getting out in the life raft, or getting out of the helicopter. I'm going to carry that out because I've been through the experience.
And finally, the rookies have to be able to deploy, enter, and drive a rigid survival capsule. This totally enclosed lifeboat is made of fiberglass reinforced polyester and can self-right itself if it flips over in high seas. It has a 30 horsepower diesel engine, stocks rations of water and food, and can hold 50 survivors in relative comfort until help arrives.